oh my God, we never forgive for the other person. We forgive for ourselves so that if we ever think about them again, we don't feel bad. How do I forgive them after breaking my trust, betraying me, maybe even cheating on me? Well, this video is all about forgiveness and how to actually achieve it. But before we start, I have to say I stand firm in my belief that a true twin flame, any kind of divine counterpart, would not abuse you in any way. If there's any kind of physical, mental, emotional abuse, it is not a twin flame. What a twin flame would do is mirror back to you what is not healed within you, as any mirror would, but it's nothing they do to you. It's more like what you expect them to do, and they're not. You project your needs onto them. Often it's like if we never really experience somebody who is there for us, we want them to be there for us. We want them to give us commitments. But as I always say, they're all mirrors. If we still hold on to old programs of fear, loss, abandonment, neglect, they cannot give us commitment, and it's not their responsibility to give us commitment. It's their responsibility to show us what is not healed within us by not giving it to us. So that is what hurts in the twin flame wound. They don't give you what you want. They don't give you this commitment. They don't show you how amazing you are if you're not in your self-love. Of course, that can be applied to any other person mirroring you as well. So that by itself does not mean it is a twin flame. A twin flame connection is this major spiritual journey you're going on. But still, sometimes things happen, even with twin flames, that may hurt you. For example, they promise you to call you and then they don't, because they have to ghost you to mirror your fears of abandonment and your thought patterns that are constantly at they're not there yet, when are we finally getting together? That kind of lack mentality cannot manifest in them reaching out regularly or giving you what you want. So that can hurt. If you are wondering how to forgive that, stay tuned. We're going to talk about the steps on how to be able to finally forgive them and let go of resentment. What's happening more often, though, is people falsely label someone their twin flame, somebody who may be cheating or may be abusive in any kind of way, and we're still talking about why we should forgive them and how to forgive them, because forgiveness is never for the other person. It is always for ourselves. But please really ask yourself, is it a divine connection if you're holding on to anger? Because in my experience and my clients' experience, a true twin flame connection, you cannot really hold angry energy for a long time. You quickly snap out of it. Maybe it will take you a day or two, but you very quickly step out of it, because it is this divine connection and you're just pushed forward on your journey and not staying in any kind of blaming the other person. In a true twin flame connection, you do have sympathy for their own broken insides, their own things that need to be healed, and their own patterns that made them maybe retreat. So that is very important to point out. Forgiveness. I realized that a long time ago. I was thinking about someone from my past who had hurt me, and it always made me feel bad. I always got angry when I thought about that person. And then one day I realized, hold on, I'm not harming that person. He's not even in my life any longer. He doesn't feel it when I'm mad at him, and I feel it. I'm harming myself if I hold on to this grudge. And then I decided that he was not worth that I feel bad just because I think of him. And that is when I realized, oh my God, we never forgive for the other person. We forgive for ourselves so that if we ever think about them again, we don't feel bad. We don't lower our own frequency. Because what happens when you lower your own frequency? Well, you attract things that are not as good. As soon as you step into victim mentality, we attract a situation where you might be victimized, and we don't want that at all. We want to grow, but we can only grow if we do not hold on to grudges. But let's talk about the steps on how to forgive a person. Well, the first step is step out of victim mentality. become aware that they are your mirror and they're not doing anything to you. They're just showing you where you stand. You can ask yourself, how do I treat myself? Am I able to set boundaries? How do you think about myself, my looks, my character, my everything? Do I think negative about myself? Is there anything where I am not honest with myself? For example, I go to a job I hate and I tell myself, well, it's not possible to find another job. Well, for your higher self, it would be very much possible. So there is some kind of betrayal within you. You maybe betray yourself by not treating yourself worthy, by not taking your own needs as important, or by constantly doing something that harms you, that you really don't like. For example, meeting that person that used to be a friend and that is now always draining you, or by going to a job every day that you hate. That is betraying yourself, and then of course you may attract somebody who shows you that by betraying you in some kind of way. So it's important to see, how do I treat myself? What do I think about myself? But also check what grudges from the past you're still holding on. Have you been betrayed in the past, or how did people treat you in the past? Do you think it's the other person's fault? Do you feel like you are someone who is always treated in a bad way? We need to overcome this, because everyone is as pushed out. So if you're not in self-love, we keep on attracting people who don't see our value and who don't treat us accordingly. But if we attracted them due to our unhealed stuff, it's not the other person's fault. So if we stay in victim mentality and thinking, oh, people are bad, or everybody around me is always bad, or people always do negative stuff to me, then it is important to work on your assumptions. You can learn about the law of assumption and then change your assumptions about people and about how you are getting treated. And also, of course, change your assumption of you being the person who is always treated in a bad way, or that you always attract people that you cannot trust. It is vital to change those assumptions. Ask yourself, have I forgiven the people from my past, the people who betrayed me? Because if you hold those negative experiences in your vibration, then they are going to attract the same over and over in autopilot. You can use the revision technique, for example, to overcome those negative beliefs. Or you could use Ho'oponopono, or change the assumptions, use affirmations, turn yourself into the person, I was always loved. Everybody in my past was always positive towards me. I was always respected. And if you repeat these kind of affirmations, you can delete the old wounds, and then you can stop the program of attracting the same thing over and over again. So any kind of victim mentality, drop it. It's harming yourself, and it will attract more situations in which you are going to be victimized. Step number 2, change your self-concept. Start taking care of yourself. Start looking for that job you love. Start doing your affirmations to recreate your old beliefs. Like, I am worthy of people treating me well. I am worthy of trustworthy people. I only attract trustworthy people. And if you use affirmations like this and you repeat them constantly, sooner or later your subconscious mind will believe it, take it as true. And once it is a belief that is installed because you thought it permanently, and I've read that you need to think one thought approximately 10,000 times in order for it to be a belief. So it doesn't work, of course, if you repeat phrases like this a couple of times. It is constant repetition to pre-program your mind to step into the energy of, yes, I am worthy of people treating me well. Your ego may know, yes, I'm worthy, of course, but does your subconscious know? What your subconscious knows, you can tell by what is getting mirrored back to you. So sometimes, the tip of the iceberg thinks, yeah, of course I'm worthy, but there's old programs that are proving you the opposite is rooted in your subconscious. So one thing is use, for example, affirmation scripting to step into the energy of, I am being treated well. Always. I've always been treated well. Everybody around me is always treating me well. And start doing it yourself. Start treating yourself well. Step number 3 is change your concept about other people. You can sit down and make a list of how do you perceive others in general, this generation, this culture you live in. How are people? Do you have more a good or a bad image of people? Do you hold on to the belief that people are cheaters and the other gender, like women, are betrayers, people who betray, men betray? If that is an assumption you have, that is getting mirrored back to you. So change that assumption by first really sitting down to find out, do I have these kind of assumptions, and then changing them. No, people like helping one another. We live in a society where people are always there for one another. And once you install that belief, then that is getting mirrored back to you as well. Step number 4, that specific person you have in your mind that betrayed you, change your assumptions about them, because also your assumptions about them are getting mirrored back to you. So when you had negative assumptions, like step number 3, like general negative assumptions and negative self-concept, you attracted that person the way they are. And then you made your experience where you feel like they betrayed you, and you noticed, of course, and that became a belief, and then that pattern may start showing up more and more time, or they betray you in a big way because they're proving your old assumption right, that men or women are people who betray, or people betray others. Change your concept about them. They are always honest to me. I am so glad that I can always trust them. Isn't it wonderful to have trustworthy people? Isn't it wonderful that the person I love respects me and is trustworthy? Isn't it wonderful that I feel that comfortable around that person I love? Isn't it wonderful that I can trust that person completely? And again, it may take 10,000 repetitions for that to sink into your subconscious mind, and then it can get mirrored back. So along the way, you may be getting mirrored back your old belief. It's like you start your assumptions or your new affirmations, and they may not work on day 1. It may take a moment for you to reprogram your subconscious mind, but it has to work. Once that program is installed, it has to mirror back. Step number 5, you are working with assumptions, but it is not working. That means that there is a strong belief hidden, or that situation hurts you greatly. You can use the revision technique. You can even use the revision technique before you start your new affirmations. Revision technique, I do have a video on the revision technique. Basically means you change your memories. You make a list of all the times that you were betrayed, and then you change that. You change your memories, you can alter your memories, and by that you delete that program, you delete the old memories, and you put more beautiful memories on top of these where people always treated you well. I explain that more in detail in the revision video. But yeah, once the program really is deleted and then you put new assumptions on top, it's like you have a field and you dig out all of the weed, and then you can plant your beautiful flowers. And it has to be mirrored back to you. But you need to forgive. Okay, it's not working. When those weeds are still in there, you cannot plant beautiful flowers, and you cannot expect to see a field of beautiful flowers. You have to dig in and do the work first. Well, I hope it helped. If it did, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, leave your comments, share this video. We want to help the Twin Flame Collective grow. If this video helped you a lot and you want to leave a little tip, my PayPal is below. And also, if you need more help, check out my other content or book me for a personal coaching. And yes, I do see you there in another video of personal coaching. Until then, I do wish you all the best now. Bye-bye.